Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Governor Ravi expresses concern over people's inhibition for COVID-19 vaccination. Centre bans supply of oxygen for industrial usage to meet the rising demand for treatment of COVID-19 patients. The country registers over 273,000 COVID-19 fresh cases. And Kiphire District Administration urges people to be vigilant against the outbreak of African swine fever. As the number of COVID cases are on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, follow all the precautions, and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, focus on hand and face hygiene, and maintain a distance of 2 yards for social distancing. Now the news in detail. Governor Ravi has expressed concern over the inhibition of people to go for vaccination and its prevalence of adverse rumours. He said this today during an consultative meeting with the church leaders of various Christian denominations of Nagaland on COVID-19 pandemic at Raj Bhavan, Kohima. Governor discussed the COVID situation in the country and the state, stating that the church leaders have moral and spiritual authority and influence over the people. He therefore urged them to use their moral and spiritual capital to save the people from the pandemic. Ravi also advised the church leaders to make the people more conscious and aware of the COVID-19 challenges and need for strict adherence to the COVID-19 appropriate behaviors. He further urged church leaders to encourage the eligible persons to go for the vaccination, as the current ratio of vaccination in the state is one of the lowest in the country. While appreciating the church leaders for their valuable suggestions, the governor said that their suggestions will be forwarded to the government for follow-up. Centre has prohibited the supply of oxygen for industrial purposes by manufacturers and suppliers from 22nd of this month till further orders. Union Health Ministry said that the matter was deliberated by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade with all the stakeholders, and after due deliberations, it was considered prudent to restrict the industrial usage of oxygen to meet the rising demand for medical oxygen. It said the surplus oxygen available as a result of this temporary restriction will facilitate its freeing up for use as medical oxygen treatment of COVID-19 patients. The ministry said this prohibition, however, shall not apply to the supply of oxygen for 9 industries. The Union Health Ministry has advised all chief secretaries to ensure effective implementation and compliance of this order. India has administered over 12 crore 38 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses in the country so far. Union Health Ministry said that more than 12 lakh 30,000 beneficiaries have been inoculated with COVID-19 vaccine doses in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, a total number of 273,810 new cases have been reported in the country in the past 24 hours, taking the cumulative positive cases to over 1 crore 50 lakh. The Health Ministry said 1,619 deaths have also been reported during the last 24 hours, taking the toll to over 1,78,000 across the country. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate is 86%, with a recovery of more than 1,44,000 patients in the last 24 hours. The ministry said that more than 1 crore 29 lakh patients have already recovered from this disease. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is over 19 lakh 29,000, which comprises 12.81% of the total positive cases. Kiphire District Administration has called upon the people of the district to be vigilant against the outbreak of the African swine fever. In a notification, Chief Veterinary and Animal Husbandry Officer informed that the disease is highly contagious with 100% mortality and there is no treatment for this disease. Therefore, in order to prevent further spread of the disease and in an attempt to control the outbreak, the district administration ordered that any death of pigs in any village or town should be reported to the nearest veterinary healthcare centre without fail. It said transportation of pigs or wild boar, as well as consumption or sale, is strictly prohibited within the district in any town or village until further orders. Further non-adherence to the order by any individual, group or business will be punishable under the Epidemic Disease Act 1897 with immediate effect. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on our YouTube channel, AIR News, Kohima. Nagaland's COVID-19 caseload has increased to 12,568 today after 13 new cases of COVID-19 positive have been reported. Update from Health Department COVID-19 Daily Bulletin informed that 12 cases were reported from Dimapur and 1 from Kohima, of which 9 cases were detected from among the traced contacts, 3 returnees or travellers and 1 armed personnel. With 12,110 recovered cases, the state has currently 189 active cases. So far, 84 persons have succumbed to the infection. Health Minister Espangyapom today received his second dose of Covishield vaccine at Nagaland Civil Secretariat, Kohima. The minister said he will continue to adhere to all SOPs properly despite being vaccinated. Pangyo urged upon everyone eligible to come forward for vaccination. In Meghalaya, amid a rise in COVID-19 cases, the state government has decided to close down schools starting from tomorrow in Shillong and its adjoining areas. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, after a Ravi meeting with officials of the Health Department and Cabinet Ministers, told the media that all schools will remain closed for the next 14 days. The Chief Minister said that the rise in cases has been 6 times higher than last time. Within 25 days, the state reached 680 cases, whereas last year it took 114 days to reach 680 cases. The government has decided that there would be restrictions on tourists coming to Meghalaya from 23rd April for 14 days. The government has decided to make RT-PCR test mandatory for any person entering Meghalaya from the rest of the country and RAT test for people coming in from northeastern states. With a vision to skill the untapped potential of youths and make them self-reliant and self-sustaining, skill development for rural employment in collaboration with Local Concepts Nagaland is conducting skill training for youths of Kiphire starting from today and end on 21st of April. Speaking at the inaugural program, SDO Civil Kiphire, James T. Kulu Dicker, said one need to uplift each other and become self-sustainable. He urged the youths of Kiphire to make use of the opportunity to the fullest and learn as much as they can in order to stand on their own feet, become self-reliant and contribute towards the development of the district. Branch Manager SBI Kiphire T.S. John Monsang pointed out that Kiphire District have immense potential for business and such program is the need of the hour to skill the youths. He also lamented that despite government announcing various schemes for the welfare of the youth, very few of the youths in the district are willing to take up businesses. He assured that the bank will assist and provide loans to the entrepreneurs who are sincere to set up their enterprise. During the 3-day training, youths will be trained on food processing, beekeeping, carpentry, toilet and laundry, and soap making. Altogether, more than 400 youths are taking part in the 3-day training. In view of the prevailing COVID situation, the visit of UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson to India has been mutually postponed. Johnson was scheduled to visit the country later this month. The External Affairs Ministry has informed that the two sides will be holding a virtual meeting in the coming days to launch plans for a transformed India-UK relationship. It said that both the countries attach the highest importance to taking the India-UK partnership to its fullest potential and propose to remain in close touch in this regard. Both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Johnson would be meeting in person later this year. And now 20 News, here are the main points again. Governor Ravi expresses concern over people's inhibition for COVID-19 vaccination. Centre bans supply of oxygen for industrial usage to meet rising demand for treatment of COVID-19 patients. Country registers over 273,000 COVID-19 fresh cases. And Kiphire District Administration urges people to be vigilant against the outbreak of African swine fever. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.